All right, so what brings you to Rescue the Republic?
I'm anti-freedom and I want to come here to protest.
You're anti-freedom?
Exactly, just like all the other liberals, all my liberal friends.
All right.
I'm a liberal, and that must mean that I'm anti-freedom, pro-war, pro-censorship, all of the things. That's why I'm here. I'm protesting this whole anti-war.
Yeah, so you're actually here undercover.
That's right.
You're actually protesting the event.
Yes. Can you imagine that every liberal in America wants war and censorship and unhealthy food and the destruction of mankind and to side with Dick Cheney? Can you fucking believe that's where we are right now?
I do. Aren't there also a lot of non-liberals that are pro-war also though? Like Dick Cheney, right? I mean, he's considered a right-wing guy. He's very pro-war.
Yes, but what I'm saying is every liberal is aligned now with Dick Cheney. Every celebrity who comes out and endorses Kamala is endorsing the Dick Cheney handbook.
So do you consider yourself are you like you left the left? You consider yourself like Bill Maher, a traditional liberal, but as Ronald Reagan said, they left you. Where would you say you're at?
I'm still liberal. I'm a sensible liberal that cares about the facts, not the imagery of it and to fit into a group or blue no matter who. That doesn't work, man. If the right candidate's on the other side of town, that's where I'm going. If he's anti-war, anti-censorship, anti-corporatism and globalism, that's where I'm going. That's the true liberal mindset. Not all this other bullshit that these liberals are going for. They're in the middle of a cultural revolution and they don't give a fuck.
Okay.
And they don't even know what it is.
Okay.
And that's what's scary to me. We need to learn, man. To learn a little bit.
All right.
Smarten the fuck up.
All right, now coming out of acting and Hollywood, I come out of a theater background. I don't have to tell you, the thinking is absolutely uniform. It is 100% almost Democrat, MSNBC kind of politics. So isn't it very hard to say the things you're saying and continue to work in that industry?
Listen, I never left my kids to do an acting job. I've always said no to them. I left my kids to come here and talk about this. This matters to me. That shit, you see what's happening in the Hollywood industry. There's nothing exciting happening. There's no good art. They're just churning out the same bullshit over and over again. The people are scumbags. I don't need to be there. And I know the political world is the same, but this isn't about politics right now. This is about humanity. This is the last time that we're going to be able to fight for this country. I really believe that. So all of that bullshit, trivial, earthly stuff happening in Hollywood and who's endorsing who is literally meaningless right now. Our country is on life support. This whole world's on life support. People don't wake up. It's not going to end well, man.
All right, so are you supporting Donald Trump, or are you not endorsing anybody, or?
I haven't endorsed anyone. I was helping Kennedy on that campaign. I don't know any of these men personally, but I listened to what Kennedy's been saying for many years, way before the pandemic, and I am 100% aligned with those values, those ideals. And if he's going to get in there and help Trump drain that swamp, then I gotta trust it. That's the right move right now. So yeah.
Well now you talk about freedom of speech. Now Trump said he thought people should go to jail for burning the flag. So doesn't that contradict the freedom of speech stance?
Yeah. Listen, I think Trump says a lot of goofy shit. I do. I think he's impulsive. I think that to me, I have a sense of humor. And I find him funny at times. He reminds me of my dad. He's a real New Yorker.
Right, yeah.
But we're living in an overly sensitive society where everything he says is under scrutiny, and everyone goes fucking crazy about it. I don't think Trump would put someone in jail for burning a flag. If he would, then I hope that Robert Kennedy or someone behind him would say, buddy, you can't have it both ways. Don't act like a liberal now. The liberals do it both ways, man. Pro-choice, but go back and forth. And that would be fucked up.
Okay, now speaking of going back and forth, a big dividing line, even at this rally, Jimmy is going to be speaking later on, and he's speaking, I think, after 3, and he's going to be speaking out against the war in Israel. And you have a lot of people here who are very in favor of that war, who spoke very much against the intervention in Ukraine, but seem to have a different view on Israel. So, and at NYU, you're from New York, right? NYU, they just passed a new speech code, which is what we were all supposed to be against, that you can't talk about Zionism because they're connecting it to anti-Semitism, which is essentially making it out of bounds to criticize Israel. I mean, it's a roundabout way of doing it. So how do you reconcile that?
I mean, for me, like, I don't get into the weeds on this topic. I know more about Ukraine, Russia. I'm learning more. I think more information's emerging. And I think this about everything. The more information that continues to evolve, we have to change our perspective. The more we learn, the more we know, and the more secrets are uncovered. I think that was happening even just with the Democrats, where they're holding on so tight to this one idea, and it's like, no, everything has changed. You're not changing with it. You have your feet stuck in the ground. And I feel that way about Palestine and Israel as well. I feel like we should have never been in the Middle East.
Right.
Ever.
Right.
And that's just my personal opinion. I feel like our country has too much blood on its hands. I know that Israel is one of our arms in the Middle East, but I feel like the karma is so spiritually heavy.
Right.
And I don't know how we can make up for what we've done in the past. So that is the bigger question for me right now, is morally and spiritually, how we're going to reconcile that. And yeah, there's a divide, and it's messy. And this is messier than anything that was happening in Russia, Ukraine. That was so much more clean cut. This one is going to take some time, and I just don't know if it's going to be too late by the time people start to understand it. I'm one of those people.
All right, Drea, where can people find you?
Ultrafree.co, t-shirts, jewelry, hats, freedom fighter, and I'm banned on Instagram, Drea de Matteo, and Ultra Free with 2 A's. Follow my brand on Instagram, Ultra Free with 2 A's.
All right, thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye.
Good seeing you again.
Take care. Bye.